biggest question, is he ready to play football? And Colin Kaepernick has been training. He's been very vocal about it.
Since Colin Kaepernick has visited the Las Vegas Raiders, people in news media have gone as far as to say that Colin Kaepernick is better than Derek Carr.
He's 0-1 in the playoffs right now. For those who have forgotten, Colin Kaepernick wound up 4-2 in the playoffs. Kaepernick was better than Derek Carr. Yeah. I'm sorry, he just was.
But what happened the last time they faced each other? The QB duel between Kaepernick and Derek Carr was in Oakland in 2014, the Battle of the Bay. It ended up being one of the most electrifying matchups in Oakland of all time. It was a heated matchup that led to tons of altercations on the field and off the field. The Raiders came in 1-11 with absolutely nothing to lose, and the Niners came in 7-5 with the chance to still make the playoffs. It was a heated battle in typical Bay Area fashion. The fans were sauced and ready for a fight. Couples rooting for rival teams sat next to each other in full gear. It was Derek Carr's rookie year, and at this point in his career, he led all rookies in passing TDs. Colin Kaepernick was drafted in 2011 with the 36th overall pick in the second round, and Derek Carr was also drafted with the 36th overall pick in the second round, but in 2014, his rookie year. This year would end up being the last year Colin Kaepernick played with Jim Harbaugh. We're going to get into this historic matchup and what took place. Remember to like this video if you haven't already, subscribe to the Raiders Rundown for more Raiders content, and ring the bell for notifications. If you need to save 20 bucks on tickets, use our promo code WiFiWillie at SeatGeek. The link is in the pinned comment below. This matchup had the GOAT in attendance, John Madden, sitting from the stand. This matchup had tons of memorable players from both the Raiders and the Niners. The GOAT Charles Woodson was suited up. Marcel Reese was suited up as well. James Jones and Riviera made up the receiving corps, and Latavius Murray was the lead back. The Raiders defense also had Khalil Mack, C.O. Moore, and Miles Burris, just to name a few. Kaepernick's squad included Frank Gore, Michael Crabtree, and Quan Bolden, and the Niners defense had former Raiders like Aldon Smith. This game would be one of Derek Carr's better performances. Previously, he got rid of the ball too quickly and didn't give the play time to develop. But in this game, Derek Carr was throwing strike after strike, earning himself 3 touchdowns during this game. But it was not all sunshine. Derek Carr missed a few throws, threw into triple coverage at one point, and he also suffered through some delay of games. The historic touchdown reception during this game was by none other than Donald Penn, the offensive tackle. The crowd would erupt as Donald Penn capitalized off this trick play and jumped into the black hole. Marcel Reese also made some plays and enjoyed the black hole as well. Kaepernick entered the game with negative media press after a tough loss by the Seattle Seahawks. Richard Sherman celebrated as he told Niners fans to shush while the Seahawks dominated the San Francisco 49ers. Jed York of the Niners even went out of his way to apologize after the embarrassing loss. Colin Kaepernick looked shook in press conferences prior to this game. He even went as far as to give one-word answers when reporters asked him questions. This was before he ever kneeled during a football game.
They were bad throws. Our receivers won. I didn't make the throw on those. Those are my fault.
This season would be a season where the 49ers declined after building a Super Bowl caliber team, and Kaepernick struggled incredibly during the beginning in this game. His first throw and the first offensive play of the game ended in an interception. And announcers often ask themselves, who is he throwing to?
I'm not sure where that ball was trying to go to.
But Kaepernick would be able to move his team down the field with some good throws to Michael Crabtree, who would eventually become a Raider. Kaepernick also was able to bust off some big runs, which is what he's known for. But if Kaepernick wasn't messing up and missing throws, the times when he would put the ball right on the money, it just ended up being bad luck as the receiver would drop it. And Kaepernick struggled to make a decision with the football, and sack after sack occurred. Khalil Mack had his fair share of Kaepernick's attention, and C.O. Moore would end up getting an intense fight with Colin Kaepernick before halftime. These guys were going face to face and holding nothing back. C.O. Moore and Kaepernick would have an altercation at halftime, and they would both have to be separated by teammates as tons of words were exchanged. Seymour would later mock Kaepernick after the game. There's a difference between boys and men. Freaking chump. But they weren't the only people fighting during the game. It was a chippy night. And not only was it tense between the players and the coaches, but it was tense between the fans as well, as they sat side by side in the Oakland Coliseum. And there were many times during the game where both fan bases did not look too happy. Dennis Allen was fired by the Raiders earlier in this season, and people often wondered who would be the next head coach of the Raiders. Would it be John Gruden? Would it be Jim Harbaugh? Or would it be a combination of Jim Harbaugh and John Gruden? Carr would eventually give the Raiders the lead on this fade to Michael Rivera. Kaepernick would have a shot at the end of the game, but another underthrown pass led to a Charles Woodson game-winning interception. Woodson would celebrate with Raider Nation and throw the football into the stand. And instead of taking a knee, Harbaugh would allow Kaepernick to get sacked at the end of the game. Kaepernick would address the media but be very quiet.
We have to win. We haven't played well. No, I don't worry about things like that.
And Derek Carr looked to be a promising QB for the Raiders. And a lot of times the announcers discussed how promising Derek Carr really is for the Raiders.
He was amazed how mature and professional he was right away. You could see it in training camps.
For Derek Carr, despite being a rookie, he did show tons of promise as early as 2014. And Kaepernick's tense relationship with the media would create a sour taste in everybody's mouth. Greg Olsen and Tony Sperano would celebrate at the end of this game as the Raiders picked up the victory. It would be the first time in 14 years that the Raiders beat the 49ers. And it would be the first time since 1979 that the Raiders beat the Niners in Oakland. So today people are speculating who would be better in 2022, Derek Carr or Colin Kaepernick. But in this year, 2014, when Derek Carr was a rookie and Kaepernick was a 3-year veteran, Derek Carr hands down outplayed Colin Kaepernick with a way worse roster. Derek Carr would pick up 254 yards in passing with 3 touchdowns, while Colin Kaepernick picked up 174 yards passing, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Frank Gore would have 63 rushing yards, while Latavius Murray had 76 rushing yards. Kaepernick only had 26 rushing yards in this game. And Charles Woodson, in addition to picking up the game-winning interception, would also lead the Raiders in tackles during this game. And Khalil Mack made his impression on the NFL, picking up 2 sacks during this matchup. The 49ers and the Raiders rivalry is one of the most intense rivalries in all the National Football League. I cannot wait to see what happens this year when they face off in the 2022 season. This is WiFiWillie of the Raiders Rundown. Like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe for more lit Raiders content. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.